For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're a family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it.
Oh, fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.
Dude, welcome into No One to Blame. Monday edition, off season. Me and Kev are in the off season lab right now, trying to get some good content for y'all. We're going to have a ton of good stuff coming up with the NFL draft, off season for the Bills, for the Raiders, really doing the draft 1 through 32, because we're not just on the Bills here. We're doing every single thing. And we're going to be talking about draft gambling. Kev, we got a lot coming up. In tonight's episode, though, we're going to be recapping Kevin and I's win-loss totals from preseason last year. We're going to be talking about this chaotic NFL coaching carousel. We're going to be hitting on some NBA futures that I placed and how just lackluster the NBA All-Star game has become. And we got to round it out with maybe the hottest topic right now, college basketball.
Yes, sir.
I love it. I have never been more involved in college basketball than I am this year. And it's been profitable, but first and foremost, Kev, how you feeling, brother? Happy Monday.
Feeling good, man. Starting to, like you talked about, get into this March Madness activity here. Man, growing up, man, them brackets, get that bracket in your hand. Be in school, had a buddy of mine who used to run the pool, backdoor style at the school. Hey, he got in trouble, man. He was had a big pool going to school. They kind of caught on to him and kind of try to put it under wraps. But yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah, we don't condone underage gambling here on No One to Blame. Please make sure you are of age. Yeah, man, I'm getting involved. You know, the people that run our crazy survivor pool are doing squares for March Madness. I don't remember how much it is per square, but essentially you get that same square for every single game. And as the rounds go further on, the payout goes further up, right? It increases. So
Monopoly money, of course. Monopoly money, of course.
Of course. That's all we do here. Play a little Monopoly.
In, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, especially.
Yeah, don't at me, Kev. All right, dude. Let's get into our win-loss totals from preseason in the NFL. So, the Eagles fly, still flying high right now. I can't wipe the smile off my face from that Chiefs beat down, dude. It just felt so redeeming, and it probably shouldn't, because they beat us. So like, why? I don't know. I hate them so much, man. I hate
World
them
hates
so.
them. The world hates them.
Right? They have to. They absolutely have to.
As you say, God hates Jags, but everybody hates the Chiefs. So,
all right, let's start it off, Kev. Go into the NFC. Sorry, wrong tab. NFC preseason. Kevin went 11-5 in win totals for the NFC to start the year. These shows were back in August of last year, 2024. Kev killed it in the NFC. I went 10-6. Not bad. Didn't beat Kevin, so not great. Some notable ones here were we different. Kevin was on Arizona over 6.5. I was on the under. They hit 8 wins. Now, back then, I think I know why you took the over in Arizona, but do you remember why you took Arizona?
Because I had Kyler Murray potentially finishing QB1 in fantasy football, and I was all over Marvin Harrison Jr., who didn't have a great year, but had a subpar maybe year, but not a terrible year. But yeah, that's why I was on the over on that for sure.
Yeah, I know we did a ton of fantasy football, and we're going to be doing fantasy football probably after the draft. We got a long off season as far as NFL goes, so fantasy football content will be coming out probably after the draft. We'll do another live mock draft. That was a big hit. I was on the under, man. Even with Kyler Murray, I just didn't like what I was seeing, but I didn't realize how volatile that NFC West was going to be. I think they had 3 different teams led the NFC West at one point. Right?
Yep.
And they were just beating up on each other, man.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go. So Atlanta 9.5. You went. We both went over on this. They end up with 7 wins, dude. Talk about a crash and burn in Atlanta, man.
And if you remember, they had the easiest schedule going into the season. So that's, that kind of, it's probably why we were both on the over. Kirk Cousins coming in, stabilizing the QB position. Well, that didn't happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we both had Atlanta winning that division, too. We're going to do a full division recap. Kevin and I picked every division 1st through 4th before the season with odds. It was incredible. We're going to recap all that probably on next week's episode. Another one that we whiffed on pretty bad, Kev. Carolina, the under-over was 5.5 wins. We both took the over. They end up with 2 wins for the Panthers. Does that sound right to you?
You know what's funny is that's what I was going to say. Remember, like the last third of the season, everybody was like, man, Bryce Young's back. Carolina's feisty. Dude, they still only won 2 games. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, you know, with the hype, I think what the hype actually was is they were covering. No, saying, hang on a second, dude. This ain't right. They had 5 wins. Something's wrong on our spreadsheet, dude. Carolina had 5 wins. I don't know what's up with their spreadsheet. I didn't fill that in. Looks like it was just copied from 23 to 24. Yeah. So, dude, still did not go over there, but do you know what's going on with that?
I didn't fill that in. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Pretty good. We still lost, right? But I will say NFC was much more profitable for us. A nice one that we hit here, dude. Over 8.5 on the Rams. That was nice. We both went under on the Saints, and I know when the season started, we were both kind of like, all right, that's going to be a loser. But under 7.5 on the Saints, they end up with 5. They actually finished lower in the standings than the Panthers did, which is crazy. But yeah, man. How about taking over 10.5 on the Eagles? We were both huge on the Eagles going into the season.
Yeah.
Look at us. How about us? We're going to finish the NFC with a big whiff here. Under 7.5 for Tampa Bay. We were not on Tampa Bay at all. They end up winning their division, dude. 10-7.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming, dude. I don't know about you, but
no, I was on the old Baker showing up. But he was good. So obviously he proved me wrong.
Yep.
We
were both at Green Bay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Another one I like here that we differed on that I ended up hitting was the San Fran. I had the under 11.5. And on my notes here, I'm looking, and my question was, is Purdy for real? Like, that was my going into the season. Like, can he replicate kind of what he did last year? But man, they had more issues than him. Injuries.
Yeah, it wasn't a Purdy problem.
It wasn't a Purdy problem. It was the injuries. Nope. Ayuk was off after the holdout, and they had all kinds of other issues. Trent Williams hurt. Obviously
CMC
McCaffrey. Yeah. So everything but Purdy, probably.
Yeah, exactly. I thought Purdy played well. If he was leading the league in passing through like the first quarter, or maybe the first half of the season. So I don't know. He's the steal of steals, man, outside of Tom Brady. I mean, Mr. Irrelevant, and then now he's just a stud. I mean, I don't know. I took the over in San Fran. I liked San Fran a lot. What was not to like? And then obviously something like that happens. And I know the Bills have been snake bitten with injuries, but man, San Fran. Yeah. Do you remember that NFC Championship game a couple years ago when they were in Philadelphia and McCaffrey had to play quarterback?
They had no quarterback. Yeah. Detroit and the Bills are, this year there were some major injury problems for them three teams for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you went under 6.5 on Minnesota. I took the over. We both went over on Washington at 6.5. That's just a super sharp handicap on us. I know when I was looking back through all of our fantasy football takes. Both of us were on Jaden Daniels. You even more than me, which, shout out us, dude. Shout out us. Let's kick it over to the AFC, Kev. I struggled a little bit more in the AFC, dude. I went 8-8 in my win totals. Kevin went 9-7. Kevin is a preseason master here.
I don't know about that.
Dude, 1 for 1. What are you talking about, dude? 1 for 1. It's our first year, and you're doing awesome. We both took over 10.5 on the Bills. They had an awesome season, dude. Way outkicked their coverage. Outperformed the number. 10.5. I was nervous taking over 10.5 before the season started for the Buffalo Bills. They ended up with 13. I mean, I don't think anyone could have predicted the type of season that they had.
Well, if you remember, the talk was, they had no proven wide receivers. They didn't know how the running game was going to look. Was Josh Allen still going to be able to do, Josh Allen things? He just proves when you have that guy at quarterback, you kind of just get by and you make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. You were on over in the Miami at 9.5. I was on under, dude. And the only reason I am touting this so much is because I also had them to make the playoffs, plus 120. So not only did I bang the under 9.5, but I also had them not making the playoffs at plus 120. And I hate the Dolphins so much, dude. I was so pumped up about how this all shook out here. Where is Miami at right now after that season? Do you just chalk that season up because of what happened with Tua and everything?
Yeah, but you know what? Like, they went 8-9. I in my head, I would have thought they had 8 losses by the end of the year because there was points in the season where that offense looked terrible when Tua was out. So they're kind of in the same boat going into next year. If Tua's healthy, they're going to be decent, but you almost hate to say it, but you almost know that's not going to be the case. So how are they going to deal with any potential injuries, moving forward the quarterback position? They have to hit the backup spot in the offseason, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're kind of tied to him contract wise, so it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, they released Mostert. Obviously, the
Yep.
drama with Tyreek Hill. He was banged up last year. Waddle was banged up last year. They have no tight end really.
Johnny Smith, he showed up. He showed up a little bit last year, but
yeah, just because the other guys were hurt, though. I mean,
yeah, true.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think he's
out of necessity. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to be a viable option moving forward. I mean, maybe he was. Jonnu Smith had good talent. When he was in Tennessee, and then he got traded to the Patriots, right? Is that how that shook out?
I think so.
Yeah. Old and slow. That's right.
Dolphins love me.
Yeah. A big whiff here for both of us. The New York Jets. And I was completely fine losing this one. I didn't care at all. I thought I took them over their 9.5 win total, dude. I just thought that team was going to be so much more competitive. And dude, what an absolute meltdown from the New York Jets this year. It was something. As a Bills fan, dude, it was so amazing to just watch that fire from New Jersey all the way in Buffalo. Like, just absolutely incredible, dude. Now they let go of Rodgers. I mean, what do the Jets do next year?
So they've got some decisions to make. They already obviously were quick to get rid of Rodgers. Apparently, he wanted to stay. And they were like, "Nah, you're good. We're moving on," which I think is awesome.
Smart.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Is that an Aaron Glenn thing?
Yeah. So there's they could save like $29.8 million in cutting Devontae Adams against the cap.
Oh my gosh.
So
see ya.
Yeah, he's due $38 million the next 2 years. So to me, they got to cut him. I don't see how
Mark Davis. That's that Mark Davis money, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, not anymore. Yeah. So there's talks of them trading up for Cam Ward. I had heard that a little bit yesterday. Trading up to 1 for Cam Ward.
Oh, please.
So that would be an interesting
as
your Jets fandom.
I'll say this: if the Jets wanted to draft Cam Ward. Now the Jets are one of the only teams in the past, I think, like 30 years to get to a conference championship game with a rookie quarterback. Do you know who that quarterback was?
Mark Sanchez.
There he is. Dirty Mark and the boys. And we all know how that turned out. They also drafted notable West Virginia alum who is shining out on the West Coast, Geno Smith. Got
punched in the face by his linebacker.
The super soaker, Zach Wilson, dude, out there soaking it up. Is Zach Wilson what team is he on now? Is it Minnesota?
He was on Denver. Wasn't he on Denver?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's gonna be cut. He'll be a free agent this summer. And
my point being, if the Jets are interested in trading up for a quarterback, and they still have the same kind of personnel. I know they got a new head coach. That hasn't really ever seemed to matter. I don't think the head coach makes any of the decisions for the Jets. And unless they're starting to relinquish some of their upper management power and give it to the coach, which I doubt is going to happen.
No. Woody Johnson.
They want Cam Ward, dude. Perfect. They can have him. I love it, dude. Bring in some more fresh rookie blood, and they'll just stay in the basement. They'll be fighting for 4th place with New England. We both hit New England under 4.5. I played the alt under 3.5, dude, and I was this close. The Buffalo Bills B squad almost got me a plus 240 cash. They could not bring it home, though, dude. Joe Milton, I'm surprised that he was not a first ballot all-pro after that game, dude. He just lit the Buffalo Bills up, but I don't know, man. We'll talk about some of these head coaches changes. We got 2 in our division alone, so it's good news for a Buffalo Bills fan. Miami is really the only threat that we have, and I'm sorry. I just, the most scared I've been of Miami in the past, I don't know. They haven't won a playoff game in like 24 years, but the most scared I've been of them is when they put up 70 on Denver, right? And they were coming to Buffalo, and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know." And I don't know. We beat them by 4 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah.
they're just kind of like,
Jets are going to jet, right?
AFC East. Let's run it back, dude. Why not? Why not us?
No reason you can't. That's for sure.
I'm not doing full division recaps here. I just wanted to hit on those a little bit more for obvious reasons. Kev, we're both on Baltimore over 10.5. We're both on Cincy over 10.5. That actually got a lot closer.
Yeah, towards the end
landed
there.
on 9. Yeah, I mean, we were close. We were close there. We were both on Pittsburgh under 8.5. I didn't see Pittsburgh playing as well. The Pittsburgh ended the year how I thought their whole year was going to go with the quarterback.
Yeah, because they actually ended the year playing their division games and they sucked.
Yep. I think my biggest miss out of any of these, Kev, I thought Cleveland was going to be decent. Dare I say they were a fringe playoff team for me at first, dude. I had big aspirations for Cleveland.
No way. I did not.
Gosh.
Under, I hit
you
that one.
Yeah, you were all over the under there. I played an alt over for Cleveland. I loved it, man. I loved the way that their schedule lined up, and the quarterback. I don't know what I was thinking. Yep.
Trust in Deshaun.
Yeah. Hey, no one to blame. We were both on Houston over, Indy under, Jacksonville over, Tennessee under. Look at us, dude. Look at us. Nice little. We were all over the AFC South. All right, dude. This is one that we need to talk about. The Raiders. I, like you, was on over 6.5 win totals going into the year, and then I mean, the flip-flop into the quarterbacks, the coach just seemed lost, and then the run game just disappeared, dude. Why don't you break it down for the people?
Yeah, I mean, they started off the season by making the wrong quarterback choice. So that put them in the hole right off the rip. Starting Minshew, the dude's a life. He's a backup. He's a lifer backup. He can pick you up in a pinch, short spurts, couple games. Just didn't work. And then to your point, absolutely horrific running the football. They couldn't establish any running game at all, no matter who they had in there.
Zamir White, dude. Zamir White season, remember?
Zamir White. Oh, my God.
Gosh.
Just bad. And then Aiden O'Connell came in, and, they played a little bit better at times, but
then he got hurt. It
was kind of too late. Then he got hurt, and then we had to go back. And then, it just the Raiders, that's what they do, right?
Now, some positives coming out of this. You guys got rid of your head coach, which I think you think is a good thing.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that because that was one of the more intriguing offseason head coaching moves. And Brock Bowers, dude. Well, Brock Bowers, one of the best seasons for a rookie tight end ever.
Yeah.
Right?
For a tight end ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about a rookie wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right in both of those. But we were on Kansas City over an 11.5 wins. Shocker. We were both on under for the Chargers. Now, I think you were on the under for the Chargers out of your pure hate for them. I just didn't see. I just thought it would take more time. And I mean, it kind of showed. End of the season, playoffs, Chargers just kind of shit the bed. You were on over 5.5 in the Broncos, Kevin the Sharp. I was on the under, another team that I thought was going to take a little while to develop. Bo Nix, dude. War Eagle into quack, quack, quack. Just making it happen, dude. 28-year-old Bo Nix.
Yeah, I think, I remember talking just the Sean Payton side of it I was on. Just thought he would maybe turn them around quicker than expected. I did not expect Bo Nix to play that well. I just thought they would be right at that number, just right over it. So the fact that they got 10 wins? Is it 10 wins? was a shocker. I did not think they would get that high. I just thought they were going to barely hit that over number. But Sean Payton kind of doing his thing, I guess. We'll see if it lasts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a great quarterback coach, man. He got that defense humming. Unfortunately for them, they ran into the buzzsaw that was the Buffalo Bills. Tough draw for them. And that's not just me being a Bills fan. That was a tough draw for that team. I'm not sure which, maybe if they lined up against that Chargers team or even that Houston team, I think they probably would have had a little bit more. But going into Orchard Park, dude, in January, straight up not having a good time. Yeah, well, like I said, we're going to actually recap all the divisions in a future episode. We're going to talk about what teams we picked to make the playoffs last year, all that good jazz. But solid performance. Kevin better than I. Once again, Kevin went 9-7 in the AFC. I went 8-8. Kevin went 11-5 in the NFC. I went 10-6. Not bad, dude. Not bad. I think we'll both take that. Solid showing from you, Kev. You got the better of me there, but good news is there will be another season, dude. I'm here for it. Let's keep it moving here, Kev. Let's hit with this. Talk to me about these off-season coaching changes that we've had. The coaching carousel in the NFL is always very interesting, but I mean, dude, it's spun around how many times? 2, 4, 6, 7 times already. What do you think? Everything good over there?
Yeah, I'm good now.
There
I
you
got
go.
sidetracked here.
No, you're good. You're good.
So coaching carousel.
Hit us with the coaches.
Yep. So we had 7 new hires. Kind of changing spots. You had Vrabel going to New England, which I think everybody kind of saw coming. Once they kind of
what was with the New York Jets thing? What was with the New York Jets stunt that he pulled?
I think these guys, it's kind of like even free agency in like NFL, NBA. These guys, I think, just want to feel, wanted, and kind of want to see what's out there. And then maybe he just got a little antsy and thought, hey, maybe New England's not going to move on, and he wanted to have some options. But I think he was just kind of not a dig, but just, kind of, roaming the country, wanting to feel wanted by
that's my thing,
some teams. So,
and I get that.
I don't know.
I get that. But dude, he's an expatriate. Like,
yeah,
if an ex-Buffalo Bill who coached another team and now might be a prospect to come and coach our team and was held in such high regard as they hold Vrabel, and then he went and took an interview with the Jets before us, I would be like, it feels like kind of like a little slap in the face, dude. Like,
it was a little odd. And I don't know the time frame, the timing of them firing Mayo. I can't remember the timing of that and when he went to visit the Jets, if Mayo had already been fired or not. I can't really remember.
I thought it was within the same week.
So, maybe he was not confident or not sure that they were actually going to end up firing Mayo. My guess is it probably has something to do with that potentially, but I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we definitely won't know. That was just, I don't know. I thought that was just very, very odd. A lot of like drama for no reason type of deal.
Yeah. Who knows? These guys have ulterior motives that in their head sound good at the time, and then it ends up backfiring. But
all right, real quick. Vrabel, it was within 2 days. Vrabel went and interviewed with the Jets, and then they fired Mayo 2 days later.
Well, maybe he's pushing New England's hand at that point. Like, hey, I need to know now if you're letting this guy go because I got to make a call on what I'm doing.
Sure.
So that might have been the time ending on that. Yeah.
That's not what I want. I don't want a former if I'm a Patriot fan, I don't want a former Patriot going to the Jets to try and force our hand. Like, dude, what? I don't know. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre. Now, that being said, I think Vrabel was out of all the coaching candidates, and we'll talk about him, I think he was definitely one of the strongest head coaching candidates. We'll talk about them all, and maybe we'll rank them after.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So next up here, Ben Johnson, obviously assistant offensive coordinator of the Lions, going to the Bears, going to young quarterback and Caleb Williams, got some offensive weapons. Obviously, they need to shore up the offensive line. Defense could play a little bit better than they did last year. But, you know, when you got a chance to get the hot offensive coordinator and you've got a young quarterback, I don't have a problem with it. He was due. He didn't take the job last year, which I kind of liked. Either A, he didn't like what was out there, and B, he knew like, hey, I'm not ready for this. I've got to, figure some stuff out and then, but the second year though, you've almost got to go because these jobs don't come, only 32 of them, obviously. Who was the KC offensive coordinator? That was the hot name
Eric Bieniemy.
Bieniemy. Everybody complained. Why is he getting hired? Why is he getting hired? He didn't want to get hired. And then it was too late. Now he's not a hot name anymore, and he's out of the picture. So you got to take them when they're there. Maybe not the first year, but he had to go this year. So I like that hire. A good offensive mind. You got a young quarterback. You got to at least give it a shot. Even though he has no head coaching experience, I'm okay with them giving him a shot in Chicago.
So Eric Bieniemy was hired by the Bears to be the running backs coach under Ben Johnson.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Just happened 10 days ago, which was super ironic as you didn't know that and brought him up.
No. Yeah.
Kevin the Sharp, dude. Kevin the clairvoyant, dude.
It's all in here somewhere. It's all in here somewhere.
This is one that I think I will disagree with him leaving. Again, if you were going to stay the first time, then you go in as a powerhouse last year. And the only reason you didn't make it is because all of those injuries. That's why. I mean, I haven't seen an NFL team that dominant, truly, like blowing out teams and the way that they were winning.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have been winning and just not covering for what feels like 2 years. Yep. Right? The way Detroit was dominating everyone. And that team, dude, they're young and they all mesh. If you stayed once, I feel like you got to stay again. His stock, I don't think would fall. I don't think his stock would fall. That offense is going to hum. I would have stayed again. I would have felt like it's unfinished business. That's just me. And I'm pretty sure that they were paying him pretty well too.
Yeah, they gave him a bump after last year to kind of entice him, I think, to stay. The only thing something different I would say against that a little bit staying is, hey, Jared Goff has been good for them. I'm not, he's been great for that, good fit for that offense and kind of what he does. But man, if the Rams Jared Goff showed up like next year for some crazy reason and they just like that shouldn't happen. They've got weapons, they got a good O-line, they've got great running backs. It should not happen. But man, if quarterback play dipped a little and then all of a sudden that offense isn't, that could be a little scary. So I just think you got to go.
We're going to talk about way too early Super Bowl odds and where the lines are at. I think is going to shock some people. Now, real quick, Ben Johnson, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, earns $13 million years on a 5-year contract. $13 million per year on a 5-year contract. He's one of the highest paid first-time head coaches in the NFL.
I'm not passing that up.
You probably not.
Nope.
I
don't care what he was making as a coordinator.
Well, okay, so a devil's advocate of myself. Yes, run it back again, but you're 0 for 2 on this really good team, and you're going to pass up that much money. Maybe that contract's not on. To your point, is not on the table. You got to take that 13 per year over 5, dude.
Yeah,
he's going to get paid more than James Cook, dude. Yikes, Buffalo.
That's
Bills
for another
fans.
show.
Yikes. All right, this is my favorite one. Go ahead.
Pete Carroll to the Las Vegas Raiders. When they get your gum ready. I wasn't a huge fan of this when it initially happened. But then as these other hires start to play out, we'll go down the list here in a minute. He was the next best guy in line available. I'm not taking Kellen Moore over him. I'm not taking Liam Cohen over him. I'm not taking Aaron Glenn over him. I'm not taking Brian Schottenheimer over him. So he only signed a 3-year deal, which is kind of odd for coaching. Usually they have to sign a 5-year deal. So I think the plan is he's going to come in. He knows how to build a team from the ground up. He knows how to build an organization from, the president down to the janitor. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's going to get that thing built up in 3 years for whoever his kind of next in line guy is going to be. He's stable. He's been stable at every single college NFL team he's been at. So after all the hires played out, I'm good with the Pete Carroll of the Raiders. I actually kind of like it. So they need some stability in that locker room that they have not had since John Gruden the first time. 20 plus years ago. So I actually like this one. Yeah.
So we talked off air about this exact hire, obviously when it happened and everything, but I didn't like it at first either. And you start to think, okay, let's think about what Carroll has done in the NFL. And dude, before they drafted Russell Wilson, who I think Pete Carroll wanted to draft, they paid
Green Bay, Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn. They paid Matt Flynn, then drafted Russell Wilson. Wilson beat him out. Dude, Pete Carroll, I don't want to say.
Pete Carroll didn't care. He didn't care.
Yeah, exactly. He orchestrated the Legion of Boom. He orchestrated that dominant Seattle team, dude. Like, he also made one of the biggest Super Bowl blunders. He made the biggest Super Bowl blunder in the history of Super Bowls. He did. Yeah. He ran it all the way down the field with Marshawn Lynch. And then they throw it. He outsmarted himself, dude. Marshawn could have easily just ran that ball in, but whatever. I won some money on New England there. But I like this for you guys. You guys need kind of a fresh start. Kind of to scrub the last several years. You got some good young pieces. Get that. You guys got to draft a running back, I think. And I know in one of your mock drafts that you sent me, you traded up for Genty. Is that right?
Traded back for Genty.
Yep. That's right.
Traded like from 6 down to like 15 or something for Genty.
Right. Which is kind of playing with fire. You never know. But if you start looking at those teams, which we'll be doing a whole draft thing. Genty should be there somewhere in 10 to 20. So I love that for you. And for a team that's kind of rebuilding, gathering some more draft picks, Kev, trading back and grabbing Genty wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, you guys were humming when you guys had Josh Jacobs going, and I know the team's completely different, but it helps if you're rebuilding, it helps to have a solid running back, and you got to get some offensive line depth. You have to. I think those two things go hand in hand. I think from there, dude, I mean, are you keeping AOC?
I would assume so. Gardner Minshew has a year left on his deal. AOC, I would think AOC is going to be the starter depending on what they draft. And then, obviously either the backup or the starter until a rookie's ready. I would just move on from Minshew. I don't know what his contract, it can't be that high. So, but it's Pete, he's going to come in and he's going to clean the slate. If he has an opinion one way or the other on Minshew or AOC, I don't think he's going to care, what happened last year or what happened, previous years. He's going to go with what he thinks. So
the Minshew was a 2-year, $25 million, 15 guaranteed, $6 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
So now if you were to grab a veteran QB, who would you grab if you had your choice?
None of them. Here's why. We have not drafted a first round quarterback since Jamarcus Russell. They've went the later round picks. They've went the veteran free agent route.
Yeah.
They have got to bring a rookie in and try to go for the home run and just draft a guy, develop him, and go. I don't want a Aaron Rodgers. I don't want a Sam Darnold. It might add some stability to the room, but then you're just looking again in a year or two for a rookie. So I want to get the rookie and move forward with it.
I think you draft Jackson Dart, who is our draft darling, and I think he sits behind AOC for a year.
I don't think I don't think it would last a year. I think he'd be in front of him halfway through the season.
I love it. We're going to get into that a lot more. Kev, keep these head coaches going.
All right. Kellen Moore to the Saints. Maybe not a worse situation to go into cap-wise. His quarterback, they could say $30 million cutting Derek Carr. And a team that is in cap hell and not good, that's the easiest way to trim that fat off is to cut him, go with Rattler or draft a guy and just start the process over. Start it over.
Dude, you can't go with Rattler. I agree with you.
I agree.
You cannot.
But you go in saying he's our starter until you draft a guy and then the rookie takes over. Or I don't think they'd go the veteran route just because that,
I think they would. I think they'd go with someone like Jameis, dude.
Back to the
why not?
Thing.
Why not? You have to draft someone, but like I don't know. Like I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
they're drafted 9. I mean,
they're 9. Isn't that where Bo Nix went last year? Was 9, and nobody thought he was going that high. So you never know. A guy like Jackson Dart or one of these guys, Will Howard or somebody sneaks into the first round.
Will Howard. Ugh.
Watch. He's another one's going to move up. I'm telling you.
But they just, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think they have bigger.
Oh, they've got.
When you're on that big of a rebuild, quarterback is so important. But
they need to go other positions.
Dude, none of these quarterbacks in the draft are game-changing quarterbacks.
They got to go offensive line, defensive line, and build out for like a 3-year plan. Yeah.
They could be $65 million over the cap next year.
And they could cut half of that by cutting Carr. Think about it. $30 million. That's half of that number. So yeah, they can clean that up a little bit. And the tight end, Taysom Hill is going to get cut. They've already talked about him going to Denver. Already heard that rumor.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
Back with Sean Payton.
That. He's a fantasy darling of mine, dude. Taysom Hill.
Okay.
Yikes, dude. Yikes. Okay, so as far as the Saints though, getting more, I think it's a great hire. I do. I think they have some good young talent on that team. How they're going to distribute the ball and get all that worked out, I don't know. But I do like a young guy like Kellen Moore going to the Saints. I think that was a good hire.
I just think it was the last. I don't know why the Saints waited so long. Unless I'm assuming a lot of these guys just didn't want to play for the Saints, just didn't want to coach for the Saints.
It's not an ideal situation. Well, they also, maybe it was their guy all along. That's why he was the last one to get hired because he was playing the Super Bowl.
And that's going to be their spin, but I don't think that's the case. I think nobody wanted to go there. Good for Kellen Moore, but
yeah, a little bit of a glow up there, out from Fat McCarthy's shadow, winning a Super Bowl, dude, and now head coach in the Dumpster Saints, dude.
Yeah,
I guess that's a glow up. Good luck, dude.
Yep. All right, next up, Liam Cohen to the Jags, Tampa Bay offensive coordinator. Man, this one kind of got a little sketchy there with he told the Tampa he was staying, ended up sneaking off in a private jet, not answering a phone call for 24 hours from them, and signing with the Jags. The thing I think odd about this guy, he literally was like 1 year in Kentucky, 1 year with the Rams, back to Kentucky for 1 year. He's literally been 1 year in all of his stops, no matter the position title. I don't know what to think about that. If he was,
hang on a second. It was a little bit more. So I'll read this verbatim right here from ESPN's Michael DeRocco. The decision capped a 2-day saga in which Cohn pulled himself from consideration for the Jaguars job, agreed to a contract extension with the Bucs that would have made him the NFL's highest paid coordinator, and then changed his mind after Jacksonville reached out to ask him to reconsider after it parted ways with their GM Trent Baalke.
Yep.
This league, dude.
That was the main talk on a lot of these teams that didn't have the Jags on their radar, is they did not want Baalke as a GM, and it turned off a lot of these big candidates. And I think Shad Khan at some point was like, man, I wasn't going to fire this guy, but he's costing me head coaches now. I've got to move on. I think that's what ended up happening with that.
Are we not going to talk about Cohen's press conference?
Duval.
Like what? What the fuck was that?
Dude, I feel bad for him. Cheesy as hell.
Gosh.
Now it's out there forever.
Duval.
Yeah. That sucks.
You know, every reporter was just like, what?
Oh yeah.
Cringe, bro. Cringe. I don't know. If I was Jacksonville, I would lean into it, and I would be playing that at the stadium.
They got to. They've got to lean into it. Yep. Or it's going to just be out there, and they've got to lean into it for sure.
That's going to be part of our clips that we start bringing up on our show.
I think he did lean into it. I think already they had a new clip of him doing it. The Jag Social did, and he changed it up a little more accurate to how they kind of chant it at the stadiums. But anyway, they definitely need to lean into it for sure. Okay. Aaron Glenn to the Jets. I am not a fan of this hire. We've talked about it on different segments on the show. He'll be back in Detroit being a D coordinator for them in probably 2 years, 3 years when he gets fired. I just do not see Aaron Glenn as a head coach. I don't know. The defense wasn't even great. The defense, I don't think he was doing anything.
Defense was good.
Yeah, but I don't think he was doing
good.
anything like strategically like innovative, like anything new that like I don't see it.
The defense I don't think was good because of him. Right? To your point.
Yeah.
He's not the one. Dan Campbell makes that defense go. I don't care what anyone says. He's the heart and soul, dude. I know that dude. Dan Campbell was a tight end, right?
They drafted well. Aiden Hutchinson, the linebacker, like the corner. I can't think of the corner's name. Like they've drafted well. They hit a spot, and this is what happens. And people
can in the league for how many years, dude?
Yeah, people can argue this, but you have to have luck in the draft to get a stretch like Detroit's in. Jahmyr Gibbs, people hated it. The linebacker, people did not like it. They made picks that they stuck with, and they worked, and they all happened in like a couple years stretch. And this is what happens. So Aaron Glenn will go there, he'll lose, and he'll be back. So
is this not just Robert Saleh 2.0?
It could be.
Right?
I guess just finding the difference, and we've talked about this too. Just because you're a good coordinator, just because you're, just literally, in my opinion, has nothing to do with being a head coach. We talked about this. Mike Martz for the St. Louis Rams, greatest show on turf, mad scientist when it came to the offense, just did his thing, didn't give a shit what anybody else did defensively, whatever, just did it. And he had the players to do it. He goes to be a head coach for Detroit, and then he can't manage the timeouts. His play, he's not, the play calling is not the same just because he's having to do other things. He's having to manage the entire organization. So being a good coordinator, in my opinion, has nothing to do with being a good head coach. They're two completely different job titles. You've got to run the entire organization. You're not just calling the plays and handling the quarterbacks in the running back room. I just, I'm off the Aaron Glenn. Not a big fan of that one. I get it. He, same thing. If he gets a job, he's going to take it.
Yeah, I expected this one. Again, the Ben Johnson thing. It's a lot of money. I get it, but I would have expected Johnson to say this is tough for Detroit.
Oh yeah,
right. And we'll
talk
about
a lot of
here,
position
here in
coaches,
minute,
and yeah.
Go with the last one here, Kev. This is
last but not least. Actually, this is last and least. Brian Schottenheimer. I thought he was done. I thought he was like out of the NFL. Dallas Cowboys, Jerry, just getting him another puppet to spew his BS throughout the country. Do what Jerry tells him to do. But you know what? Good for Marty Schottenheimer. I guarantee you, if you'd asked him if he'd ever be a head coach in the NFL, he would have said, absolutely not. I'm done. That's already passed me by. I'm just going to, be an assistant coach, be a coordinator, whatever, and just kind of go off into the sunset. And then Jerry wakes up one day and is going to offer him a head coaching job. He's probably couldn't take that quick enough.
Man,
it's the Cowboys though. It's the Cowboys. So good, I love it. I guess, and that. So
yeah, I mean, he's got a relationship with Dak, which I think is good, and I think you hit it. Jerry likes to promote guys that are probably just going to listen to whatever he's going to say. Right? This is his first head coaching gig. I mean, he's not going to be super outspoken. Like, I don't know, man. It's Dallas. This is why they suck. They make stupid decisions.
Dallas, yeah.
I mean, Dallas. Out of those 7 guys, who is your favorite and who is your least favorite hire?
I guess I would probably initially I thought Vrabel, but I think Ben Johnson. Just because you've got a young quarterback, some offensive weapons, he's going to come in there with a creative offensive scheme. I think I like that just for them reasons. The Vrabel thing, they have no wide receivers, no running backs. The quarterback is young guy. They got a young quarterback too, but I don't know. I like the Ben Johnson one a little bit more. Least favorite. I think it's Schottenheimer. Well, no, I think it's Aaron Glenn. That Aaron Glenn one I hate.
Okay.
And the only reason maybe I would say that one worse than the Schottenheimer one is because Schottenheimer's been around the league, multiple different positions forever.
Yeah.
So he might at least have a semblance on how to kind of put an organization together. So the Aaron Glenn one I just do not like at all.
My favorite is Vrabel. Going back to the Patriots, he's already proven that he's a good head coach. In a kind of a similar situation when he first got to Tennessee. And if he ends up sucking, that's good for the Bills. So I feel like that's a win-win for me. My dude, yeah. Cohen is the worst out of all of them. No respect for that guy after saying Duval like that. I don't know how you put on a headset and get up in front of people in a locker room after saying something. Duval, like, dude, that dude can't be within 100 feet of a school now. Like, just creeped everybody out. So no, I don't know. I think that's I think he's gonna struggle, dude. I just do. I think Schottenheimer will have 500 success. He's Dallas has got some okay pieces on it, and most of the coaching staff is intact. He was the OC last year, so wouldn't have been my first hire. But yeah. All right, man. I want to kick it over. Here, I'll tell you what. Why don't we talk about it's snowing in the Midwest, Kev? Why don't you play that video for the people?
Oh, Midwest, a little snow. We're supposed to get some snow in North Carolina too. The next like 2 days from now, I think.
Ugh.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. Their family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs. And did not hit the snow removal video, but if you have snow removal needs in the Midwest, hit up Altered Grounds, alteredgroundslandscaping.com. Give them a call at 618-972-9632. That's 618-972-9632. You've got a business, a bank, a church, a school, a hospital, doctor's office. Excuse me. Hit them up. They've got remove your sidewalk, remove your parking lot, remove all the snow.
Let me finish that ad read for Kevin
all
there.
Right.
Altered Grounds.
I'm good now. We are good.
In the Midwest. Use code AGNOTB. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more. Most importantly, if you got a business, you need some landscaping, snow removal, hit up Altered Grounds. They are the best in the business. St. Louis, Metro East, but all the Midwest, man. If you're gonna pay to get some work done, pay the best. Altered Grounds. Kev, FanDuel Super Bowl odds for next year. I'm going to lay out the top 10, and you're going to let me know what you think. Favorites to win it next year at plus 600 are the Eagles. No disagreement from me there. Running it back is one of the hardest things to do. I'm not going to put any money on it. I put money on them plus 1,400 in August to win it. Shout out me. Next up, Ravens at plus 650. I will never put money on the Ravens to win a Super Bowl.
I agree with that. I tend to agree with that.
The Chiefs at plus 650. Big offseason for the Chiefs coming up.
Yeah, I know they've got a offensive lineman that's a free agent. Trey Smith or something's his name. They got to shore up that O-line. Got to figure out what wide receivers are staying.
Yeah.
They've got to kind of get back to that Tyreek Hill era, a little more explosive on offense, in my opinion. Kelsey's getting a little bit older. I think they need to change it up and go a little more high flying next summer. No running game either.
Pacheco broke his leg. He'll be back. He'll be fine. The Bills at plus 750.
Like it. They're gonna have to shore up a couple things, get some depth on that defense. I like that 750 on them.
Lions at 10-1 plus 1,000. That's tough.
Man, losing a lot of coaching staff gone. I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be. You lose offense, defensive, and quarterback coach, wide receiver coach. I mean, they've got some holes to fill in that staff. I'm not sure who the free agents are for them coming up. Nobody big. They're bringing back a lot. Most of their starters on offense and defense, though.
If it makes them feel any bit better, the Bills had 2 new coordinators. I know our OC came in halfway through the year, but you don't get a full off season. I don't consider that a true season.
Yeah.
So the Lions will have a full off season to figure out what they're going to do, and they got a good roster. They're going to be okay. 10-1. Got to think about that. How about the Niners at 13-1, Kev? Whoa.
I'm more, talking about the preseason predictions on the win totals. I don't trust Purdy, even though I'll give him his due. Like, he's played well. Like, I get that. I just keep waiting for it to happen and him to turn into a 7th-round quarterback. And I tend to not think that, but would you be shocked though if he just came out and was, awful next year?
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't shock me.
It would shock me after his first couple years in the league and the success he's had. I know the team, but I mean, several plays, dude, they almost won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So let's think about this.
Year before, they're in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. If Debo leaves, which is a very distinct possibility, and CMC is just done, all of a sudden that San Fran team looks a little different.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not on board with San Fran again. I don't think. Obviously,
they still got a beast. They got a beast of a defense, dude. Their backup running backs, Jordan Mason. I mean, he played well. Isaac Guerrero played well when called upon. Ricky Pearsall really stepped up. The division's competitive now. NFC West is competitive. You got Seattle. The Rams won it. Arizona we talked about. So NFC North, NFC West, two very, very good divisions. Tough sledding for the Niners there, plus 1,300. This is where some of my money will be going. The Bengals at 21-1.
Yep. I like to sprinkle a little on that as well.
Gotta throw a little sprinkle on it. Be powder.
I mean, they lose that game to open the season to the Patriots, and just, defensively they were horrible the first 3 quarters of the season. You would think that would just by getting to their level wouldn't just not be as bad as they were this year.
Yep.
And if they're even a little bit better, that's a completely different Cincinnati team, in my opinion.
Yep.
So T. Higgins.
Higgins is gone, right?
Well, no. So today, they're gonna franchise T. Higgins, and they're gonna do the transition tag, which basically gives them more time to negotiate a deal with him. And he came out and said he wants to stay in Cincy. So I kind of think Cincy might do kind of what Cincy typically doesn't do and pay him to keep him.
What is that franchise tag? Like $25 million or something?
It's the average of the top 5 wide receiver contracts. I don't know what that number is. Don't know.
I don't know either. It doesn't matter to me. I actually skipped over one. It's actually because they're not in order. The Packers at plus 1,900, 19-1. That's an interesting one.
Tough division, man.
Did you hear Josh Jacobs coming out and saying they need to get a bona fide number 1 wide receiver? Yikes, dude.
I think these guys say this stuff and they're like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that.
Shouldn't have said that. Then it's the Bengals at 21-1. Commanders 22-1.
Second-year quarterback, the whole year of teams to kind of watch him. I could see them. How many wins did they have this year? 11 or
11, I think. Yeah.
I could see them having a little downtick, honestly, this year coming up. So.
Yep. Me too, man. Me too. Rounded out here with the Texans at 31-1. I'm going to be sprinkling on the Texans. I'm telling you right now.
Nah, I'm not.
Nope. Watch, dude. Texans will be competing. It might be Texans Bills in the AFC Championship next year.
Oh, good Lord. No way.
Yeah. No, because, I mean, Stroud had that good rookie year, and then he came back down to earth, had all those injuries on that team. That defense is so good. So good. And defense, we just saw what a good defense can do now, right? So, I don't know, man. Let's get the offense right in Houston. I think they're formidable. 31-1 now. I don't know, man. That's worth a sprinkle to me. Nothing other really notable here. No one. The Dolphins at 41-1. Losers. Yeah. Let's keep it moving. I got some NBA futures that I placed. Dude, how lame has the NBA skills competition become?
So lame that Wemby tried to throw it. Him and Chris Paul.
What are they doing, dude?
Man, I used
Kevin Hart's there. Like, get all this shit off my screen.
As we talked previous shows, like growing up, basketball was my thing. NBA, college, like that was my first love, kind of before NFL took over. All-Star game activities were always on my TV on that weekend. Dunk contest, 3-point contest. Then they put the skills competitions in there. Maybe not necessarily the game on Sunday, but them dunk contest activities on Saturday night were on my TV. I would be willing to bet every single year of my life until this year. It didn't even register with me that the All-Star activities were happening Saturday night. I didn't know it till I popped open the X and seen some dunk contest highlights and that. When Mac McClung, who's not even an NBA guy, is like running the dunk contest. Dude, what are we talking about?
Dude, there's guys needs to go, or just not be like the focal point. Like the NBA game has changed so much. The reason it was so polarizing is because that's when guys really started to dunk, like in the 90s, right? Like those crazy dunks. You can only get so creative on a dunk, dude. Like,
if you go watch, there's like these dunkers, these like guys that go in these like dunk contests, like on the streets. And in these gyms and these contests, they put these NBA guys to shame. They're throwing crazy. I would rather see them than the NBA guys, to be honest with you.
Oh, hang on. No. We want to see you want to see the stars do what the stars are supposed to do. And they're won't.
Not doing it.
Nope. LeBron James should be in the dunk competition. Do you see that dunk he had the other day? It was sick.
Every year there's a star that gets interviewed at the dunk contest and he says, I'm in it next year. LeBron James did it, said, I'm in it next year. Never
He didn't
was
even
in
play.
it.
He didn't even play in the game.
Yeah. 5 minutes before the game decides he's not playing. Come on. So I'm it's kind of
the NBA is broken right now.
It is. It definitely is.
I was listening a little bit to XM radio. That's weird. And they were talking a little bit about this, and one of the guy brought up a good point, and I'm going to steal it and not regurgitate it as my own, but we want to see so the 3-point contest is great. Move it back. Get some of the best shooters in the NBA and move it back, dude. Make a half court contest. Make a logo contest. Make a full court shooting contest. Dude, something is better than what any of that is better than what they're doing now.
I don't mind. To me, the 3-point contest is fine. It's pretty standard. It's not a creative contest, so I'm okay with the 3.
You don't get rid of it, but why not another one? Make a deeper one. Make it part of it. Spice it up, dude. They got to do something. I mean, you are a lifelong NBA fan. Didn't even have it on your TV this weekend.
Yeah. No, and here's the other thing.
If they made something different, you tell me you're not going to put it on to watch and to see.
Yeah. No, I would. But here's the other thing. I think that is maybe a realization of mine, and maybe as you get older, is the all-star activities in the game? Is it more for like the kids, like the younger, because I think about all my memories. It's like, dude, when I was a kid, seeing a guy dunk, doing stuff that I couldn't even think about doing, or you know what I mean? Like, sure. I almost think as an adult criticizing it, it's like, if my kids watch it and think it's cool, then it served its purpose. So I don't know.
Did they?
No. So, but typically, yes. Like every other year up till now, when like my kid, we would be downstairs in the living room watching it,
I used to
they
watch.
they would think, oh, that's a cool dunk, or that's whatever.
I will say
but
the game has gotten more competitive. The scoring has been up, and that's been fun. But like, just like I don't know, man. Like I don't need Kevin Hart out there. I don't need, I just don't need all of that, man. I just let the product speak, dude. And the Four Nations, the Four Nations, dude, that had way higher ratings than the NBA this weekend.
Hey, I bet you if you had
USA,
if you had Joel Embiid fighting Wemby in the first 10 seconds, I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
There you go, dude. Maybe that's what they should do, man. Bring up Barstool Rough and Rowdy, but it's all NBA players.
There we go.
Yeah, dude, but I played some future bets. Now, I talked about I had the Wizards under 20.5 wins before the season. They are 9-45 with 28 games remaining. I need them to go 11-17 or worse. I like my odds there. They made a couple trades. You never know. They actually went on a 3-game winning streak going into the All-Star break. So we need that to stop. I got the Warriors over 43.5 wins. They are 28-27, 27 games remaining. I need them to at least go 16-11, which I think is doable. Maybe a little second half push.
Add the Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. For whatever that's worth.
No, I think that'll give him a little bump. I do.
Okay. Well, that's good. That makes me feel better. Coach of the year, man, Taylor Jenkins of the Grizzlies. They are second in the West. I got him at 12-1. The Grizzlies are 36-18, second in the West, dude. What an exciting team.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, the CLV on that is looking really nice right now. Most improved player, I bet this is in the season now. I grabbed Cade Cunningham at even money. The dude's been on fire, man. He's been playing out of control. I thought even money was a good price. I think that's gonna go into the negatives here if it's not already. So I scooped that up. I grabbed the Cavaliers at 3-1 plus 300 to win the East. I think that line is going to diminish. I think it's going to be closer to plus 150, plus 200, maybe second half of the season. They've been playing so well. I know the Celtics are a top tier there. I like the Cavs to knock them off this year. So I liked it at 3-1 price. Do you have any thoughts on the Cavs, Kev?
They're probably one of the, 5 or 6 teams I think that have a legit shot of either winning the East and or the championship.
Right.
Like they're a handful of them, and they're in that group for sure.
Good. Knicks are making some noise. I didn't bet on the Knicks at all, but they're definitely making some noise. God, the Knicks.
I like Jalen Brunson, but the Knicks don't do it for me.
I know that's just an odd build there. So to win the West, I went ahead and placed 3 futures. I took the Grizzlies 11-1. The value is good there. So put a quarter unit on the Grizzlies 11-1. Lakers at plus 750. Okay, let's just say some magic happens at plus 750. No, I think those odds are they're too high, right? So throw a half a unit on that, right? So 11-1 quarter unit for the Grizzlies, 7.5-1 for the Lakers, half unit, and then OKC to win the West is even right now. You throw a full unit on that.
Yep.
So you got to scale the units out proportionate to their odds. OKC is a wagon, and they were there last year, and now they're the same team. Another year of experience, dude.
Yeah, I think with OKC, with Chet Holmgren has been out for that month plus. Now he's coming back for that late run. Hey, that OKC team defensively they swarm the ball. If you have any type of if you run any type of offense against OKC where you hold the ball at all, like where you've got a little ISO, like old school, like James Harden used to kind of just, hey, they attack it, they double it, they get after it. So Holmgren coming back in that defense, I like OKC big time moving forward this year.
Love it. Love it. So Grizzlies 11-1, Lakers 7.5-1, OKC even money. I just need one of those teams to make it to the finals, and I am up money. A good way to place future bets right there. You gotta be strategic. You can't just throw darts at a dartboard, right? It doesn't work out that way. I don't have a whole lot more to say in the NBA right now. All-Star game sucked. All-Star game weekend sucked. NBA doesn't really get going to the playoffs start. Right? So let's get on to something way more interesting. March Madness coming up. The NCAA reveals its first top 16. Kevin, we're going to run through these. I'm going to buzz them off real quick. I'm going to go with the ones, and then after I finish that, let me know what you think. I'll do the 2s, 3s, and 4s. Let's go with that. Your 1 seeds: Auburn, Bama, Duke, and Florida. Your initial reactions when you saw those?
Auburn, Bama, and Duke, all 3 have a chance to win the national title. I'm still not sold on Florida. Maybe it's just because I haven't watched them enough. But them other 3 legit title contenders, in my opinion.
Yep. Hey, shout out me. Auburn +3 on Saturday, going into Bama. Awesome game. Got up early and never really let up, man. It was an awesome game. I hope that they play. If they meet in the tournament, dude, it would be electric.
So Auburn, Bama could play so SEC obviously schedule.
Yeah.
SEC championship game. NCAA tournament, like they got to hook. Them guys could hook it up a couple times, which would be awesome.
7 of these top 16 teams from the SEC. Don't look now.
Legit.
They're gonna have, Missouri's gonna be in there, Mississippi, Mississippi State, Kentucky. We'll talk about it. The number 2 seeds: Texas A&M, Purdue, Tennessee, and Houston. This is where it starts getting a little dicey for me.
Tennessee and Houston for me, I think are, right there. Kelvin Sampson always has his teams playing defense as far as Houston goes. Rick Barnes, Tennessee, well-coached team, veteran point guard. I haven't seen enough of A&M. I've got to make it a point to watch some of their next games. I gotta get on board with them. They won a close one this past weekend, I think by
over
5
Arkansas.
or 6 against Arkansas,
unranked Arkansas.
Yeah, so
I had the over in that game, did not hit. Shitty first half. A&M is not a 2 seed for me. I like Arizona as a 2 seed. I watched that Houston game front to back, as I had Houston -2, and then I hit them a couple times live during the game. Houston, man, Houston should be that 1. Florida should be the 2, in my opinion. And get Purdue out of there too. I'm sick of this Purdue nonsense, dude. They just need to just bump some other teams up. Purdue's just not doing it, man. Like you beat Purdue, you're not. I don't know, man. They just always seem so fraudulent. We saw Wisconsin go in there, and you have this in your notes here. I mean, number 16 Wisconsin goes into Purdue, and they beat them by 10. And dude, the second half didn't even feel competitive at all. So, number 3s, Kev: Wisconsin, Iowa State, Arizona, and Kentucky. I love those teams.
Yeah, Kentucky just came off a loss, but they had I think 2 starters out. So they had a SEC game, a couple starters out. That loss ain't gonna hurt them. I like Kentucky, Arizona, Iowa State. We've talked about on past shows. Man, they went from being like a top 3 team to like kind of going off the rails there a little bit. you would think they would get back on track to end the season. We'll see. But yeah, I kind of like that group there too. Wisconsin's looking hot right now. Yeah, I do like them 3 seeds. Obviously, I like my Arizona Wildcats. That's my squad. Tommy Lloyd's got them back on track, it seems like. So
big game tonight for them. It started
10. Started about 20 minutes ago.
Yep, they're up 13-8 on Baylor. I took Arizona +2. I did not think that there was any way that they would lose 3 games in a row. Obviously, a ton of time left right now, but Kevin, the 4 seeds. This is where it gets dicey again for me, man. Texas Tech, Kansas, St. John's, the Fighting Patinos, and Michigan. Interesting. Thoughts?
I almost think St. John's should be in that 3 line, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Patino and St. John's, man. I'm off Kansas. That's a little bit of my Bill self-hate. I get that, but they just underperforming all year.
Dude,
they just duds in some games.
They just lost to that Utah team. Dude, that Utah team is
throttled
a bunch of they call them staples, dude. The big white guys that just look like they're stapled to the floor, right? And I didn't coin that, right? I did not coin that, but that is what that team looks like. I don't know, man. How are you going to go as a supposed top 16 and then go into Utah? And I don't know.
Yeah.
Utah is rough, dude. They're actually playing K-State tonight, bubble team. I like Texas Tech here. I like the Johnnies. I don't think Michigan needs to be here though. I just don't think they want to put any more SEC teams in here.
You might be right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some big upsets over the weekend. Wisconsin, number 16 Wisconsin beat number 7 Purdue. We had some awesome games, dude. Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl, they beat Ole Miss by 10. That's going to be interesting. Those two teams ranked within a couple from each other. Kentucky lost to Texas, unranked Texas. Texas has been feisty though, man.
Yeah.
The biggest, ranked upset had to have been Kansas, losing to Utah. I know,
yeah.
And just because now Sunday Memphis lost to Wichita State, but Memphis at 14, dude. I don't. Memphis is that's a fraudulent 14. I think we knew it even before the game. I'm not even saying that because hindsight is 2020. I've watched them this year, dude, and they are rough. Memphis is rough, dude. I don't know what happened. Is Hardaway the coach of that team?
Yeah, Penny Hardaway.
Still?
Yeah, they're just inconsistent. Game in, game out. I don't tend to think they're well coached game in, game out. Penny's great for the program. He's brought, just something to that program. I just don't know how good of a coach he really is.
Brought some talent.
Brought talent, but
the recruiting side, right?
Oh yeah, he's been great for the program, but I just, night in, night out, I think he tends to get out coached, honestly.
Yeah. And then this is a big one, dude. So Creighton, what's that kid's name? Kaufbrenner. What's his last name? That tall,
the big guy.
He got hurt
in that game.
So he got hurt in that game. And they were saying it looked like a serious injury. Why can't I think of his name? Let me pull it up here.
I'm gonna say, go ahead. I'm looking it up now.
Kalkbrenner, Ryan Kalkbrenner. Isn't that him? I can swear. Yeah, Kalkbrenner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 7'1", 270. So I'm pretty sure that he got hurt. I'm looking for the news. I was listening to it on the radio. Hurts foot, but avoids a serious injury. Okay, so it sounds like he's probably ready for the tournament then.
He was one of the top, highest rated recruits to ever go to Creighton out of high school.
Fuck yeah! So I mean that's a huge win for the Johnnies again, dude. they're on a roll right now, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Patino's squad. If you're following me on X, do_Neffy, you're seeing all of my plays. Saturday is always the biggest one of the year, and I don't know why they cannot spread out these Saturday games to Friday and Sunday. Like, you don't need to have 120 games in Saturday. Like, you just don't. I mean, Fridays, like I had, I didn't even bet Sunday. Just wasn't feeling it. I went 23-18 on Saturday. That's how many picks we're putting out there. Overall record right now, Kev, 272, 206, just below a 58% winning percentage. It's a good sample size right there, dude. Almost at 500 game picks for the year right now. February's record, dude, 131-81. So a solid 50 games above right now for February. Feeling good about that. 3 pushes in February as well, but it's time to start ramping up, Kev.
Let's talk about. I got 2 more games. Was just real quick. We talked a little bit about Auburn, number 1 Auburn, number 2 Bama, hooking it up a couple more times.
Awesome
that
game.
was an awesome game Saturday.
Hey, we got some friends in Bama, and I put them motherfuckers in our group text, and I was sending them the War Eagle, dude.
Sears for Bama was terrible for most of that game, and then hit some big shots late. And then we're not getting off this college basketball talk without talking about this unranked battle between UConn and Danny Hurley losing to sorry Seton Hall at 7-18. Seton Hall team.
Dude.
Oh, I just love it.
Crazy.
The Hurleys just irk me beyond belief. He goes off the stands 2 games ago talking, he's showing his 2 rings. He's chirping at the crowd, running his mouth, and then he comes and loses to Seton Hall.
What a fall
and how they lost is awesome. Steal off an inbounds, miss layup, rebound, tip in by Seton Hall. UConn takes a half-court shot and hits the rim at the other end and misses it. Seton Hall wins. Oh, it was awesome.
So I had St. John's +4 at UConn. I believe it was Thursday or Friday last week. And UConn, there was a bunch of UConn fans, and they quote tweeted the score. And it was like 24-10. UConn was up, and they quote tweeted it and said, "Just remember, you guys wanted this. You guys wanted this." And then Twitter just absolutely violated these guys.
Yeah.
So they went with the community notes approach and said, the community notes just said St. John's went on to win this game 68-62. It was incredible, dude. So your hate for Hurley is awesome.
I love it.
I love watching this happen. When you're gonna be an asshole like that, and you losing to a rival in St. John's and then Seton Hall, like, dude, they're cooked, man. They're cooked. I mean, are they in the tournament this year?
As much as I would think as much as and honestly, hey, I want to see them get in, lose in that first round to whoever.
Yeah.
That'd be the play right there.
Well, I mean, they're 17-8. They're probably going to be there. They're fourth in the Big East behind Marquette, Creighton, and St. John's. Dude, Xavier nipping at their heels. Nova, dude. Oh, gosh. Man, these used to be some feisty teams, man. Butler, Seton Hall, DePaul. These teams suck now, dude. What happened to the Big East?
Big East, the fall of the Big East, man. Georgetown, Villanova,
Dude, UConn went on a little bit of a run in the middle of the year. They took out Baylor, they took out Texas and Gonzaga in consecutive games.
And then they lost to,
Nova, Creighton, Xavier, John, Seton Hall. That dude.
Yeah.
So they got They got Nova again next tomorrow. Dude, they're at St. John's. That's a good game. Then they have to finish the season with Marquette, and then maybe they'll get revenge on Seton Hall again. I don't know.
I would think they would. Yeah.
Gross. That should be a good tournament though. The Big East is going to be a good one.
East, yeah.
I like those top 4 teams all to make it. UConn, Marquette, Creighton, and St. John's. They'll probably all make the tournament. Unless UConn goes on a huge losing streak, right?
I think, they got a couple, 2 tough games off the rip with St. John's and then Marquette, but them other ones are very winnable.
Yep, they are. Futures that I have placed, I got Auburn at plus 425 a couple weeks ago. Iowa State at 10-1. I took a flyer on Michigan State at 22-1, man. Just seeing if we can get a little bit of that Michigan State tournament magic. I don't have the updated odds in front of me, but I did hear someone tossing around Florida at 10 or 11-1. I don't know after this first 16 list came out what those odds are now, but
still there.
Yeah. Interesting. So I started giving out a couple parlays, Kev, do_Neffy on X. I hit a plus 190 on Saturday, went 2-1 of the parlays. I had 6 dogs win outright. That's been a theme. My model has been on fire lately in February, dude. 3-1 tonight on posted plays with Arizona plus 2 as the final game that I gave out tonight. And they are up 19-16 right now at Baylor halfway through the first. I had Morgan State plus 8.5, Kev. They won outright tonight. Morgan State. And then I had Houston Christian plus 9. They lost, but covered. You know what they say? Good teams win. Great teams cover. Kev, these off-season shows are going to get a little out of hand. We're jam-packing a lot of information in there. I set the over-under on 60 minutes tonight. We are at 92 minutes for the show, way over. That does wrap up everything that I had tonight. Any closing thoughts, Kev?
Just nothing really other than, hey, man, dig into these college basketball games. End of this season is going to be crazy. SEC is going to be battling. Big East is going to be battling. Looking forward to some of these conference championship tournaments coming up.
Yep.
Man, college basketball is going to be hot and heavy on the show. Looking forward to some NFL draft rankings and talk and that kind of stuff leading into the draft.
We have a jam-packed off-season schedule. As you could see, we already went over the 90-minute mark tonight, and we're just getting our feet wet, dude. I mean, I didn't even talk any 4 nations. USA. Put on Freebird, dude. The ass kicking that we put on Canada on Saturday was incredible. USA is actually playing Sweden right now. Outcome does not matter. USA will be playing Canada on Thursday again. I'm a bit nervous for that one, dude. I feel like we really gave it all in that first game. Now we got to play them again. This Canadian team is stacked. USA is actually losing 2-1 to Sweden right now. Their best player, or maybe not best player, but Matthew Tkachuk, the heart and soul of the team, not playing tonight on rest. Same thing with their starting goalie. Same thing with a couple other players. Sweden up 2-1 right now. They were like a plus 175 underdog. I did like them tonight just for the situation. USA didn't need this one, and they're going to need all the emotion coming into Thursday's matchup. It's going to be a good one, man. Canada, USA in Boston, Massachusetts. USA slight minus 125 favorite. You got to bet USA. If you're a Patriot, you got to put some money on USA, dude. If not, you know what they say, Kev.
No one to blame.
My man. Good to be seen.
Yeah,
Later.
No one to blame. Watch them hoops.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin,
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it! I'll fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.